The great council chamber stretched higher than any human I could imagine, its walls glowing with strange lights that shifted and shimmered, casting long shadows over the assembled beings. The council was filled with creatures from hundreds of worlds, each more alien than the last, with eyes that glowed, wings that flapped silently, and claws that could crush steel. In the center of the chamber, the council's leader, a massive figure with silver skin and eyes like burning stars, leaned forward, a thin smile crossing his face. "So, this is Earth's prototype," he said, his voice echoing like rolling thunder. The other members laughed, a sound like metal grinding against metal, sharp and cold. They mocked the very idea that a human could be anything more than a primitive. They whispered to each other, their voices full of disbelief. Weak, fragile, slow. How could this creature survive in the galaxy? One said, "I have never seen anyone so small," another added, shaking his head. On a raised platform, the human stood quietly, unaware of most of the conversation. He was average in appearance, with plain clothes and calm eyes. Yet, there was a strange energy around him, a quiet power that the council could not see. He did not move, did not speak, but he watched them carefully, observing every gesture, every flicker of emotion. The council decided to entertain themselves, turning the situation into a spectacle. "We should test it," the leader said, his eyes gleaming with amusement. "Let us see if this human can even stand before our champions." A ripple of excitement ran through the chamber. The council summoned the arena, a floating platform that extended from the floor, glowing with alien symbols. On it, elite warriors waited, beings who had never been defeated, their reputations feared across the galaxy. They were large, strong, and fast, trained for battle from the moment they were born. The human was led to the arena, calm and composed, while the council continued to laugh, mocking every step. "Look at him," one said, pointing. "He trembles even at our presence." Another leaned closer to his neighbor. "No one has ever challenged our champions and lived." But the human did not tremble. He did not even flinch. His eyes scanned the arena, noting every detail, the distance, the movement, the breathing patterns of the warriors. He did not see enemies, only challenges and opportunities. The council could not understand this calm. They expected fear, panic, desperation, anything but composure. Their laughter grew louder, some even throwing objects at the human, expecting a reaction. But he ignored them all, standing tall. A hush began to fall over the observers, though some council members refused to notice. Their amusement had blinded them to the human's presence. "Prepare the match," the leader said finally, his voice still carrying a hint of laughter. "We will see if this primitive creature can even land a strike." The human nodded once, a simple gesture, and stepped forward. The air seemed to shift as he moved, a strange tension filling the chamber. Even the elite warriors felt it, sensing something in him that did not belong, something that promised speed, precision, and cunning. And then, just before the fight began, the council leaned forward, eager to witness a failure, not realizing that they were about to see something no one in the galaxy had ever seen. The human's calm eyes met theirs, and for the first time, a ripple of doubt touched their laughter. The chamber seemed to hold its breath, waiting, watching, as the human prepared silently, his hands relaxed, his body still, yet ready. And in that moment, the council did not know that their laughter was about to die, replaced by shock and awe. The arena lights flared, signaling the start of the challenge. The human's heartbeat was steady, his mind focused, and his eyes glimmered with something the council had never expected: courage, skill, and perhaps, the beginning of a legend. The arena shimmered under the alien lights, a floating platform surrounded by the vast emptiness of the council chamber. The elite warriors stepped forward, their bodies large, muscles tense, eyes glinting with confidence. They had never faced defeat, and they expected none today. The human stood at the edge of the arena, calm and still. He did not look at the warriors with fear or anger, only with quiet focus. The council laughed again, their voices echoing like thunder. "Watch closely," the leader said. "This human will fall before the first strike." The elite warriors circled, testing each other, confident that the human could not even touch them. One of the warriors, tall and covered in silver armor, stepped closer, his fists glowing with energy. "Prepare to be crushed," he said, his voice like grinding metal. The human did not respond. He only watched, moving his eyes with sharp attention, noticing how the warrior shifted weight, how he breathed, how fast his muscles could react. Every detail was stored in his mind, ready to be used. The council leaned forward, their laughter fading slightly as they watched. "He is still standing," one whispered. "How?" Another added, unable to hide a flicker of curiosity. They had expected trembling, panic, screams, anything that would confirm their belief, but there was nothing. The human took a single step forward, slow and calm, yet there was an invisible energy around him, something the council could not measure. The elite warriors tensed, sensing a change, though they did not understand what it meant. Then, the leaders signaled the start of the fight. A sudden flare of light marked the moment, and the council leaned in, eager to see the human fail. The arena trembled slightly as the warriors lunged, fast and deadly, expecting an easy victory. But the human was faster, almost like a shadow, moving with precision. His eyes calculated each motion, predicting every attack before it happened. The council gasped, some whispering in disbelief. "He moves too fast," one muttered. "Impossible," said another. The first blow landed, a flash of speed and power, and the elite warrior staggered, shock freezing him for a moment. The other warriors hesitated, uncertain, their confidence faltering. The council's laughter faltered, replaced by uneasy murmurs. The human's movements were fluid, controlled, every strike precise and calculated. He did not rage or shout. He was not reckless. He was a machine of skill wrapped in human skin, and with each passing second, the council realized that this was no ordinary human. 5 blows, the leader whispered, astonished. 5, in the time it takes to blink. The other council members stared, their arrogance shattered. The human had landed 5 attacks before any warrior could properly react, and not one blow missed. The arena was silent, except for the soft hum of energy and the human's steady breathing. The council felt a strange mix of awe and fear, realizing that their prototype, their laughingstock, had already proven more than they ever imagined. The elite warriors tried to regroup, their movements sharp but hesitant. The human observed, waiting for the right moment, calm and confident. He had already shown them that brute strength and experience were no match for speed, focus, and intelligence. A ripple of tension spread across the chamber. The council leaned forward, unable to look away. They had mocked Earth, laughed at its creation. But now, doubt had crept into their hearts. Doubt that perhaps, for the first time, they were witnessing the rise of a being beyond their comprehension. The human paused for a moment, standing perfectly still, his eyes scanning the arena. The challenge had only begun, but already the council understood that their assumptions were wrong, and that the human before them was more than a fighter, he was a force. And the silence of the chamber, broken only by the council's murmurs, set the stage for a fight that no one would forget. The arena vibrated with tension as the human stood silently, eyes sharp, muscles ready. The elite warriors, still reeling from the first 5 blows, circled him cautiously, unsure how to attack. The council watched, wide-eyed, their laughter gone, replaced by disbelief. "He moves faster than we imagined," whispered one. "No one can strike like this," said another. The human shifted slightly, barely noticeable, but it was enough. His body coiled like a spring, ready to release sudden energy. The elite warriors lunged at him together, expecting chaos, expecting resistance. But the human was already gone, moving like a blur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes, each faster than the eye could follow, each precise, landing on weak points the warriors had never imagined. Each blow sent shock through their bodies, staggering them in disbelief. The council gasped, some leaning back in shock, unable to comprehend what they were seeing. "Impossible," murmured one elder. "He is human, but stronger than any of us." The elite warriors tried to recover, swinging and striking, but the human anticipated every move, dodging with perfect timing. His reflexes beyond anything the council had known. Every step he took seemed to defy speed. Every strike carried both precision and power. The human's calm face never changed, but his eyes glimmered with intelligence, with calculation. He did not fight out of anger, only strategy. Only when the council began to doubt their own assumptions did they realize they had underestimated humanity completely. The warriors, confident in their past victories, could not land a single hit. Their attacks were met with smooth counters. Each time the human struck, he ended the attack before it could even begin. The arena echoed with the impact of precise blows, each landing like a hammer. 5 more attacks, one after another, sent the warriors stumbling, some barely able to stand. The council leaned forward, their mouths open, speechless. Their mocking laughter of earlier had disappeared completely, replaced by awe and fear. The human moved like a shadow, almost untouchable, his body bending, twisting, striking, and retreating before the warriors could react. It was not brute force alone, it was speed, skill, and intellect combined. A ripple of murmurs ran through the chamber. "No one has ever fought like this," said one. "Even the strongest beings cannot move this fast," said another. The council began to understand that their prototype was not weak at all. It was the beginning of something legendary. For the first time, the elite warriors faced a human who was more than a fighter. He was a storm, a force they could not predict, a being whose every strike told them that arrogance had no place against true skill. The human paused briefly, standing tall, surveying the battlefield, his breathing steady, his body relaxed. Yet, the tension in the arena told the council everything. The fight had changed. The human had not only survived, he had dominated. And in that moment, as the council watched in stunned silence, one thought became clear to all. They had laughed at Earth's creation, but the human before them had already proven that laughter was a mistake. The first strike was over, but the challenge had only just begun. The council realized that they were witnessing the rise of something extraordinary, something they had never expected, something that would echo across the galaxy. The elite warriors staggered, trying to regroup, but their confidence had already cracked. The human stood calmly, eyes scanning, calculating. He moved with a quiet precision that left the warriors guessing, unable to predict his next strike. The council leaned forward, holding their breath. Their whispers were filled with disbelief. "He is faster than thought possible," one said. "No being has ever moved like this," said another. Their laughter from before had vanished completely, replaced by tension and fear. The human struck again, but this time it was not just speed, it was strategy. Every movement was a trap, every step a lure. The elite warriors found themselves falling into patterns they did not know they were following. His attacks were not random. They were calculated, perfect, unstoppable. One warrior lunged, swinging his massive arm with all his strength, but the human sidestepped, landing a precise blow to the warrior's side, sending him sprawling to the ground. Another tried to flank him, but the human was already behind, striking with a speed that blurred his motion. The council gasped in unison, their eyes wide. "It cannot be," said one. "He is human, but moves like a god." The realization began to sink in. Brute strength alone could not defeat him. Intelligence and speed were his weapons. The human used the arena itself, jumping, ducking, spinning, taking advantage of every ledge and surface. He was everywhere and nowhere at once, striking multiple opponents before they could even blink. The elite warriors tried to work together, but even that failed. Their teamwork collapsed under the human's skill. Some council members whispered urgently to each other. "This is no ordinary prototype," one said. "We underestimated him." Another admitted reluctantly. The human had turned the fight upside down, transforming the arena into a stage where he controlled every moment. A warrior tried to attack from above, leaping high with energy crackling. The human predicted the strike, rolling to the side and landing two blows that sent the attacker crashing to the platform below. Another warrior attempted a combined attack, but the human anticipated, dodged, and struck again, leaving both warriors stunned and off balance. The council's silence was total, broken only by the shocked gasps of a few. They had laughed at Earth's creation, mocked the human as weak, but now they watched a being who turned weakness into strength, who transformed underestimation into a weapon. The human's calm gaze never wavered. He did not celebrate, did not shout. He simply fought with precision and confidence, leaving the council and warriors alike in awe. The tide had completely turned, and it was clear. The human was no longer on the defensive. He was in control. The arena echoed with the sounds of impacts, of stunned warriors hitting the floor. The council leaned closer, unable to look away. The human had proven that speed, intelligence, and skill were far more dangerous than raw power. In that moment, the council realized the truth they had refused to see. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was unpredictable, unstoppable, and perhaps, the future of the galaxy was already in the hands of one human who had just begun to show his strength. The turning point had come. The human had not just survived. He had dominated. The council could no longer laugh, and the elite warriors could no longer strike without fear. Something extraordinary had begun, and it would not be forgotten. The arena was silent, broken only by the soft hum of energy from the floating platform. The elite warriors lay scattered, bruised, and stunned, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The human stood tall, calm, and steady, not a single mark on him. The council watched, their mouths open in shock. The laughter of before had completely vanished, replaced by awe and disbelief. He has done the impossible," whispered one member. "No one has ever faced our champions and survived," said another, voice shaking. The human's eyes scanned the chamber, calm yet full of quiet power. He did not celebrate, did not boast. His presence alone was enough to command respect. The council realized for the first time that Earth's creation had not been a mistake. It had been underestimated, and now it shined with undeniable power. One by one, the elite warriors struggled to stand, looking at the human with a mix of fear and respect. Their arrogance shattered. They had believed strength and experience were enough, but the human had shown them something they could never defeat. Intelligence, speed, and strategy combined into perfect form. The council leaned forward, silent. Some of them bowed their heads slightly, acknowledging the power of a species they had mocked. Others could only stare, trying to understand how such a small, seemingly ordinary creature could dominate beings they had thought unbeatable. The human stepped forward, his movements calm, deliberate, each step echoing through the chamber. The elite warriors tried to attack again, but hesitation and fear froze them. They could not match his skill, nor could they predict his next move. The human had become untouchable. A quiet murmur spread through the council. "Earth's human. He is more than we imagined," said one elder. "More than a prototype, he is a legend," added another. The chamber filled with a mixture of awe, fear, and respect. All eyes were on the human, the being who had changed everything in a single battle. The human did not speak. He simply walked away from the fallen warriors, leaving the arena in complete silence. The council could not stop watching, knowing that they had witnessed the rise of something extraordinary, something that would echo across the galaxy for generations. For the first time, the council realized that laughter and mockery had no place against true skill and determination. Humanity had shown them that even the smallest, most underestimated being could dominate the mightiest of foes. The human had proven that intelligence, courage, and precision were far greater than brute strength. And as he disappeared from the arena, a quiet legend began to grow, whispered among the council, carried across the galaxy. Earth's human had not just survived, he had triumphed. He had turned disbelief into awe, and underestimation into a tale that no alien would ever forget. The council sat in stunned silence, unable to speak, unable to laugh, and the human, calm and composed, left behind a legacy of power, skill, and the undeniable truth. Humanity was unstoppable. The arena lights dimmed, but the story of the human who landed 5 blows before the fight even began would shine forever in the minds of all who had witnessed it. The laughter of the council had died, replaced by awe, respect, and a lasting legend.